God, he's just.
I'm Gabriel Ritchie.
I'm Jeremiah McConan.
Welcome to the Richie and Mecco Connection, episode 64. Jay, I think my new thing might be trying to get you laugh right before we start.
That was what you just said. That was hilarious.
Should I tell everybody what I said?
You might have to.
Okay. Everybody knows Gene, friend of the pod.
Good man.
Definitely football guy, Falcons fan. We'll get to them later.
Tragic, tragic.
We'll get to them later. Host, podcast Suicida host on the Connection Media. But I said to Jay, what if I got on the Zoom? Because we do this over Zoom, obviously. What if he opened up the Zoom and instead of me, it was Gene with me with my neck in his teeth like a lion. Just random bullshit. I don't even know why I had to say that to everybody, Jay. That was I think only you would laugh at that. But
Yeah.
we
Oh
can get
man.
going. We can get going. We had week one of the NFL season.
Hmm.
There's nothing like football. Peak basketball, I'll tell myself this is just as good, but there's nothing football, especially NFL football on a Sunday, it's just so digestible, especially with
Yeah.
red zone. You got fantasy, even without fantasy, it's always been great to watch.
Facts.
There's so many storylines playing out. I love the coaching aspect of it. You can kind of see, you don't have to be a genius to see when something really goes wrong.
Hmm.
And I feel like it's one of the only sports where you can say that about it. We can get going. I'd love to start, of course, our home team Patriots. We normally would start with them, but we're gonna start with our pops, Mr. TB12, Tom Brady. The Bucks now 7-0 versus the Dallas Cowboys. The Buccaneers defeated the Cowboys on Sunday night. What did we think of Tarico before we even start in
Yeah,
Collinsworth?
I didn't mind it. Obviously, you miss Al, the OG combo for sure, but Tarico was okay. Like,
I think that's I need more than okay on Sunday night.
I feel that. Yeah. It
And
should
I
be like what we got on Monday night is what we should have gotten on Sunday night, to be honest. But
Monday I thought they did a great job
that was just vintage performance.
as usual. Yeah.
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 But like I didn't like I wasn't mad. Like Tarico didn't have me sick, but
What
he
about
wasn't great.
Collinsworth?
And then Collinsworth, yeah, it sounded like he
That
got
was hard to
COVID.
listen to, honestly.
Yeah. Now that you mention it, it was a rough first night broadcast for them.
Yeah.
But I
And it
mean,
was
the
a
game
brutal game.
was just as rough. Yeah, I was about to
Yeah.
say.
It was a brutal game. It was super boring.
Hmm.
Um, what did you think of the Buccaneers performance?
I mean, I thought the old line looked a little bit shaky.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Brady was definitely getting touched more than I'd like, and I guess that was expected going into the season,
Yeah.
with the injuries and everything. But
Jensen and whatnot. Yeah.
yeah, but Julio looked great, which
Julio looked
was
really good.
that put a smile on face. I know that put a smile on yours,
Oh yes.
and Brady could still do it.
He can
Like,
still sling it.
yeah, like I remember you texted me with Russell Wilson. Is he? Well, you said he's better than Brady, and I was like, and I'm like, yeah, for sure. Like Brady's
No, no,
probably
no,
been
no.
a top
Yeah, yeah,
five
yeah.
quarterback for the past 3 years
I
easily.
say because I was watching Russell Wilson, who's on my fantasy team. He's driving me nuts on Monday night. And I texted Jay. I was like,
That was
I
disgusting.
just give me Brady. Brady's better
Yeah,
than this guy. He
he's
just
better still than like probably two guys maybe are better than Brady
just
right
the
now.
patience.
Mm-hmm.
Because quarterbacking is so mental that
Facts.
I don't. Age is just it's not to take anything away from Brady, obviously, but age just isn't as much of a factor at that position as it would be at another position outside of like
Mm-hmm.
the kicker.
Especially in
Um,
today's game too,
so
with the
even
way
at
they protect them.
45, yeah, even at 45, you gotta mention Brady in there with the Mahomes, the
Josh
Josh
Allen's and like,
Allen's. I was gonna say Rogers, but I
mm,
gotta say Josh Allen before Rogers at this
yo,
point for sure.
definitely, definitely.
Mahomes, Rogers, not Rogers. Yeah, Mahomes, Allen,
And probably Brady
and
after those
Brady.
two, I'll
Yeah, that's what
say.
I'm saying.
It's crazy, man.
He's up there
It's
because he
actually
can hang in the
crazy.
pocket. And
Yeah.
others
Godwin
can't.
was back. Godwin looked good.
Godwin looked good. He was getting his touches immediately.
6 months. When did he tear his shit? Like this. Well,
Yeah, it's a
when
little
was it
worrisome
again?
how fast he's come back.
Yeah. He's
Um,
it's been really quick, but
I
it's good to
wonder if
see him.
is it like this is our last shot at a Super Bowl with Brady?
Ooh, it feels
I need
like
to
it.
come back now.
I think,
This is probably it.
yeah, that bro, you might be right. Because I kind of feel that same way too. I feel as if this is like that one run, probably that one last great run this team has. I mean, you never know what Brady. You can't count him out though.
And Big Mike made a great catch in the end
Mhm.
zone,
Big
picking up
Mike.
right where he left off. And Leonard Fournette looked fantastic. He told us, he warned us. He said September 11th. I'll see you all September 11th. And we certainly saw him.
Yep.
Uh, and the defense looked fantastic.
Yeah, per usual
Now,
with them.
now Dallas is definitely
Oh Jesus.
not the the right team to test your defense against.
Yeah.
In week one in general, before we get into any of this, Jay, I almost
Hmm.
forgot. All of this is with a grain of salt because week one almost always means nothing.
Yeah,
How
exactly.
many times have we actually learned something from week one? Yeah, I really don't think you learn anything about an NFL team until like week six.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's when the defenses start to gel. That's when new quarterbacks really find their groove in a new offense.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, go back to, and they're doing it again this year with the Packers, but go back to last year where they got blown out by the Saints. They were fine right after that.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I feel really good about the Bucks. I feel good about them going to the Super Bowl. Honestly,
How you feel about the Cowboys?
not so great, not so
Yeah.
great. So Dak gets hurt, right?
6 to 8 weeks.
But
Exactly.
even before then,
It was a disaster from the
did he
start.
wow you throwing the ball? Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
There were some guys. No, I'm just kidding. We just break out into Brady's six quotes.
Yeah.
But yeah. What did you think about Dak's performance? Because I certainly wasn't impressed, and I know you weren't either.
Bro, he was scaring me. That whole offense was scaring me. CD was scaring me. I think CD, that him being a number one, that might have sailed out the
People
window
theorized that going
uh,
into the season.
off that game alone. And then Zeke, like they said, I feel like every summer or every offseason we hear, yep, Zeke looks good this year, like for the past 3 years. Like, oh, he's lost weight finally. He didn't really wow me either. He still looked the same. And yeah, I mean, Micah Parsons, though, that guy's insane, Gabe, on Dallas, like what he was doing. And did you see that thing, by the way? I'm actually gonna side with Micah Parsons on this, but it was a play in the game when Fournette like chip blocked him, like Parsons was engaged with the offensive lineman, and then Fournette like murdered him, bro.
Yeah, I
And
don't.
Parsons was like, I don't that doesn't need to be in the league. Like that's Bush
Yeah.
League, da da da. I
Hmm.
actually agree with him, bro.
Fair. Yeah, for sure. And that's another thing that makes me feel good about the Bucks because they weren't going like they're going against one of the best in the league.
Yeah, good players still,
Yeah.
but
So
just I
all
mean,
week long.
Dallas is just a nightmare. They're
Yeah.
always gonna be talented, but
So I think, yeah, Dak. I don't get it. I don't get why he doesn't get the same shit any other quarterback with his caliber of play would get, with
mhm.
his winning percentage would get. I mean, playoff winning percentage.
Yeah,
Uh, the media just doesn't touch the guy. He gets off the hook with everything. I mean, Romo got way more shit while in Dallas and won way
that's
more.
true.
It was way
Yeah.
more fun to watch.
I was
Uh,
about to say maybe it was because of like the Dallas Fortress, but you're right, because with Romo, that was not the case. He used to get
yeah.
killed.
And
So yeah.
McCarthy is a guy who we haven't been a fan of for years,
Uh,
even going back to his later seasons with Green Bay.
yeah, that
And
guy's
here's what I say: we don't really see Jones. He usually sticks with guys, Jerry Jones, and I think part of it is like I don't want to admit I'm wrong in hiring this guy just yet.
mm,
I and we don't oftentimes see him fire somebody in the middle of the season. But
yeah,
that
that's
being
true.
said, I think if the Cowboys fall to last place in the division by like week 5, we could see McCarthy leave
I think
because
so.
the NFC East is always a crapshoot. So even when the Cowboys are mediocre, they're still always hanging around first place. So you can't really
Yeah.
fire the coach. But if they're like way back in the division, which they are right now, of course it's week 1. But if everybody
Hmm.
else gets off to a hot start, we might actually see McCarthy, take his leave.
Take a hike. Yeah. If they start off like 1-4, it's probably clips for him. Um, yeah, man. Dallas is just they're literally, bro, the definition of always in the national spotlight. We just don't understand why.
Right. Who else is like that at this point?
I was trying to think if there's like an NBA team comparable, but like Dallas is like they have talent. Like the Knicks don't even usually have talent.
I was gonna
I
say
guess
the
these
Knicks,
days, maybe the Lakers now.
but the Knicks aren't even on TV as much as the Cowboys are. And I know NFL games are
Yeah,
always gonna be on TV, national television, but like the Cowboys are always prime time,
always, bro.
regardless of how entertaining or what they are. The
Yeah,
Knicks are not. It's not the same with the Knicks. The Knicks do not have that many national televised games.
yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, I don't know. Do you want to move on from this
Yeah. We
bummer
can.
of a Sunday night game?
Well, we can get to this bummer of a Sunday afternoon game.
It doesn't get better.
The Patriots visited their own house of horrors in Miami,
Hmm.
going back a long time. Though these days, I think many houses will become a house of horror for the Patriots. The way this roster has been structured.
Yeah.
They lose to the Dolphins. The first drive was going great. I don't know. So you're in Houston now. Did you catch
Right.
any of this?
I was gonna mention that actually. To be honest, I mean I caught some of it on Red Zone
Yeah,
when I threw Red Zone
yeah.
on, but that was like I threw Red Zone on probably like after like the second quarter of the games. Like I was sort of just locked in on the two main games on the
Right,
TV.
right.
But I don't know from what I was seeing, obviously the results speak for themselves, but it wasn't looking good.
Well, the first drive was looking fantastic. You couldn't have asked for a better drive from Mac. Then he throws
Yeah.
this pick into the end, so that looking back at it was kind of
I
defensive pass
seen it.
interference.
Yeah, it
Probably
was.
should have went that way. Obviously, I'm not gonna say, oh, they would have won if that happens.
Right.
Definitely not. But yeah, they go down 7-0. All of a sudden, they're down multiple scores, and the game's over because they have no firepower. They have no guy who can get them back into the game.
Like,
Um,
was there anyone who impressed you on the offense? Because I didn't really
no,
watch it, so I couldn't tell
no.
you. Not a single
I mean,
guy.
impressed
Jesus.
in
Like, oh, okay, maybe
in
there's could be
relativity
something there.
to in relativity to other Patriots, sure. Aguilar had a couple plays. Hunter had a couple plays.
Our boy.
Uh, I mean, the running back core I like.
Mm,
Damian Harris, and Stevenson look good,
okay.
but that's not going to matter if you need a passing game in
Yeah.
today's NFL. There's Ryan Gunn, and the defense isn't going to make up for your the defense isn't great,
Mm,
so it's not going to. It can't be that boring team that wins 11 games that
right.
sneaks into the playoffs or whatever. It's mediocre across the board. I don't know where all the money went. They spent a bunch of money on
On the
receivers,
wide
I guess,
receivers, bro, and it
that
doesn't
just
make
aren't
sense.
guys who can even get separation, that guys who weren't number ones anywhere else.
Right.
They don't even have guys. I feel like they're
Do they even have a
who's
number
their best
two?
receiver? Who would their best receiver even be?
Probably Jacoby Myers.
Kobe Myers, right? Who would be like a number three on a playoff team, probably, right?
Exactly.
On most
Yeah.
playoff teams, he'd be like a number
Yeah.
three. I like Jacoby Myers, but he's
Same.
not. I mean, look who they're up against:
He's
Tyreek
not a
Hill,
guy.
Jalen Waddle. You
Tyreek
had
Hill was
grown
looking like
ass
a
men waddling in the
maniac.
stands, and that ended it. Yeah, the Patriots were kind of like hanging around, and then the Waddle touchdown basically ended it.
And then Matt
Um,
got injured, so I didn't even know that until like hours after the game either.
right, and it's not looking good. Um, Belichick, not ready to shit on him as a coach.
Hmm.
I'm ready to shit on him as a manager though of all
Oh
of
yeah,
this with
for
your
sure.
coaching staff, with bringing Matt Patricia back, who never impressed me at all. Even
Yeah.
when he was here, I know they won Super Bowls. They were stacked with defensive talent during those Super Bowl runs. And
Hmm.
I'll give most of the defensive credit to Belichick for those as well. But yeah, you bring back Patricia and then you sign a bunch of guys who just aren't game players. They don't move the needle.
Yeah, bro. It's actually scary. The product we're putting on the field right now scared me, bro. I don't get it.
I'd like it if we could have Belichick the coach and then have somebody be the general manager, like bring in
Yeah.
a smart, savvy guy. But that's not gonna happen.
No.
Belichick wouldn't let that fly.
No.
And yeah, I watched the game down. This is in the middle of the food poisoning from the night before that maybe we'll get to later. The food poisoning that was boiling up inside me. This was in the middle of that, but I was watching the game with my cousin, and the Patriots. It was like the fourth quarter. The Patriots only had 7 points on the board, and I was like, damn, look at, but so did the Bears at some point. I think it was the Bears. I'm not sure. I was like, damn, look at the Bears. What a sad fan base to be a fan of them with only 7 points on the board in the fourth quarter. And I was like, oh
Yeah,
shit, that's my
they're
reality now as a Patriots fan. Like,
yeah.
we're just gonna be dink and dunk. Um,
Bears fans probably have more hope right now than we do, honestly.
kind of, yeah, I guess.
Which is just depressing to think about.
At least we have 6 Super Bowls to hang our hats on.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Had a nice little run. Tua, did he wow you? Because I was hearing his throws were
did
like
he
it
wow
was
you
just up
throwing the
and
ball?
down.
No, I mean the first play of the game. I'm sure you saw it on social media. His first pass was just like in the dirt. He had a wide open guy. He just threw it like he
Oh, that
missed
was
him
the
by like
first one.
15 yards. Yeah, it was
I
like the
seen
first
one
throw.
clip where it just went right into the dirt. And I seen even like the Tyreek catch, like Tyreek kind of bailed him out on that big game, that one hander.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
And then the Jalen Waddle play, like I don't know what happened there. I just saw the highlight on that
Right.
4th and 7. Was that like when the game kind of it was like, okay,
That
it's
was
over?
that was the ender. Yeah, I think the
Yeah.
Patriots were still kind of in it at that point, but that definitely was like you're done.
Because 4th and 7, that was brutal.
Right, right.
Damn.
It's yeah, it sucks losing to Tua. He didn't wow me at all. It's very mediocre, but
Mm,
if you have receivers like that, you're gonna score.
that's what I'm
And I
saying.
think what was the final score? 23-7, I believe.
Something like that, yeah.
Anybody, an average quarterback, I'd say, because I do think Tua is below average, honestly. I don't think he's a smart quarterback. I don't even know if his tools are all there. I
Yeah.
think any average quarterback, they're up by like Miami wins like 37-7, not
Mm,
23-7.
yeah. Damn. Well, at least he has weapons. Like Mac is just poor guy.
Right.
Who's the backup? Is it Hoyer? Are we gonna see Hoyer next?
Yeah.
Well, I can't even say we anymore because I'm getting a lot of AFC and NFC South games on my television.
Uh,
But damn, like I was kind of sad. Like honestly, I was like, damn, when you were texting me about the path, I was like, man, like I don't get to watch these games anymore. Like part of me was sad, but if it's gonna be like this by the third quarter, bro, I'm gonna be tuned out anyways, whether I was in Boston or Houston. So
yeah. And I mean, he'll definitely changes your offense. I think he's like the number one security blanket you could have. He's just the
mm,
fastest guy ever, and he's just gonna get open no matter what. And he definitely benefited Miami. And watching that game, I was like, man, the Chiefs are gonna miss this guy. They certainly didn't on Sunday.
or did they?
They certainly didn't, because wait, oh, I had a little typo in my notes. It said Chiefs versus Dolphins. It was Chiefs versus
Zona,
Arizona.
but
And yeah, 5 touchdowns from Mahomes. He looked
yeah,
amazing.
that's the story of the game.
And we still have to deal with the Chiefs.
Yeah, they're it's crazy, bro. I really
Yeah.
thought like I knew they weren't gonna when I heard the offensive line, I was telling you this. When I heard like they got him protection now, I was like, oh shit, that's what they were doing this offseason. I was like, ah man, they're still gonna be good. Because that was this like them losing Tyreek Hill is obviously a big blow because guy just takes the top off of defense. But if you give Mahomes time and guys are eventually gonna get open, and he's gonna make that sick throw that only two other guys can make in the league. Like it's crazy, bro. They're gonna be tough all year.
Yeah.
Juju, kind of underwhelmed me a little bit. He got a fumble in there, but Kelsey looks as good as ever. Clyde,
Yeah.
we were out on. At least I was out on Clyde.
Yeah.
I'll say, but he looked impressive. And then yeah, I mean, like you said, we're gonna have to deal with them. But the toddlers though,
Right.
on the other side of the ball,
Binky Wop.
yeah.
We both wrote in our notes.
How do you feel about zone?
I mean, it's
People
week one. There
people are
was
saying they're
negative.
gonna suck. I don't know about
They
that
don't have Hopkins right now. They don't have Hopkins.
exactly.
There's a negative aura around them.
Hmm.
It's week one. So I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to set anything in stone, but
Yeah,
the league, I don't want to say anything, honestly. I don't
I
want to
feel
like,
it. I feel
if
it.
it's a team that was pretty good the year before, I don't want to like say they're going to suck this year because of
Just
a week one
crucify them
performance.
off for it.
I don't want
Yeah,
to say, oh, they figured out Kyler, but certainly they have some stuff to work on. Maybe
yeah.
he depends too much on Hopkins, which you can't because Hopkins is going to be hurt
Mm,
10 weeks out of the year.
exactly.
Yeah. I mean,
I think
Mahomes,
it was more about the Chiefs dominating
yes,
than Zona just shit in the bed, which they
absolutely.
did, but
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I don't know if you heard Rosillo Monday with Damian Woody, but
oh
Damian Woody made a
no.
great point about, losing. and I think it's true.
Mm,
Losing Tyreek Hill is going to make Mahomes a better quarterback. Uh, and
I agree.
and I won't completely steal this point because I'll say his numbers might not look better. He might not have flashier throws, but I think not having to think, oh, is Tyreek open? Is it
Yeah,
because that's like, oh, it's the easy gimme, the
yeah,
easy security blanket. Now he's gonna just be more cerebral and more, tactical with his throws,
yep.
and we don't need that.
Right, because we know he
Now the
has the
goat,
physical talent.
now the goat discussion. We'll start back up again.
Yeah, what is he? I mean,
He's
he's
fantastic though. He is fantastic.
how old is he? Is he
He's like
25?
26.
He's
I think he's like
26.
26.
He's still really young, bro. That's the scary part.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fantastic. He's man,
And
that
he
was an
can sit in the
early
pocket. I mean,
MVP performance. He can, yeah.
we'll
Like
get to muscle
he's
bustle later,
capable of
but
everything.
yeah,
Like
he's the full package.
yeah, but like you said, like them, and I agree with that 100%. Them losing Tyreek forces him to like now he has to read through his progressions, go to each
Yes.
guy. It's
Yes.
not Tyreek's there, fuck it. It's not one of those anymore.
Right.
And like I agree. I think that's gonna make him a much better quarterback. So yeah, gotta watch out for the Chiefs yet again.
You want to move on?
Yeah, let's move on. Who do we want to
Yeah.
talk about
Staying in the
next?
division, we have Chargers
Hmm.
versus Raiders. You sent me some clips of some Herbert throws, which just he's crazy,
Oh,
man.
he's crazy.
He's crazy.
Yeah, I just had Herbert throws, Mac truck, and that was my notes.
The Chargers, yeah, the Chargers looked really, really good. They only won by 5 points. What was it, 24 to
Yeah,
19?
yep.
The Raiders, I think this might be good for them. Facing a really good
Ooh,
team first, because normally they get off
hmm.
to a 4-0 mediocre
That's a
against
good
mediocre
point.
4-0
Yeah,
start, and then they crumble. Maybe they're gonna be losing at first. And this is silly, but they might maybe they start off 2-2, but finish 11
yeah.
and 12-5 or something.
No,
I
I could buy that. I could
I
see how
think
this
it
is
might
good
be
for
a
them.
good loss for them down the road. And then yeah, Herbert's a video game, and
Yeah,
Keenan Allen got hurt halfway through the game because he's
yeah.
Keenan Allen.
Right, another one of those guys. But yeah, Chargers are just stacked, bro. They have a lot of guys that could just make plays. Like once you put all, eventually, sort of like the Rams deal. Like once you just stack up a bunch of talent, you're gonna win games. So yeah, gotta watch out. That was my MVP pick too, Herbert.
Yeah.
You seen that Devontae Adams route he ran though? That shit was just so filthy.
Yeah.
That yeah.
He had a monster fantasy day.
He did. He did. Who do we have next on the slate?
Another guy who had a monster fantasy day is Justin Jefferson, and the Vikings
Oh,
killed
yes.
the Packers. But as I mentioned last year, the Packers got killed. We want to write them off. Rodgers is a douchebag. Blah blah blah. That's the same.
He looked miserable all Sunday. I
I
was
know. I
enjoying
know.
it.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing this time around too, though. But yeah,
Yeah.
fuck him. Oh, it's like he immediately distanced himself. It's the LeBron thing when LeBron's about to like
Yes.
leave the team.
Yes, that's exactly what
If
it
it's not
is.
going well, you immediately distance yourself from the problem, from the team. I'm not a part of this. They're the
Yep.
issue. I'm not
Yep.
where a real leader like brings everybody together.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's looking at guys wrong. I can't work with this basically, and it's like you took the massive contract. You
Yes.
had the guy or one of the guys in this league when it comes to receiving, and you chose to take a bunch of money.
Yeah,
Brady never
I'm
did
not
that.
hearing it.
Yeah.
Nope.
I just
With
hate I
Rodgers,
hate the eyeing receivers down thing.
yeah,
It's just for the public to see. It's just embarrassing, and it can't be
it's
good for your
cringe,
team
bro.
morale.
Yeah, nah, with any Rodgers defense, I'm just not hearing it no more, bro. Like, yeah, okay, you like the first play of the game would have been nice if he caught it, but like, and the Vikings beat them, but like Packers were kind of in it for at least through like 3 quarters, I'll say, but they just kept fucking up. Like he was making some scary throws. So, and like you said, you wanted to. This is the weapons you got because you wanted to take all that money, and then yeah, on the other end, Jefferson, he's just ridiculous.
Yeah, that was
He,
crazy. Sebastian's boy,
yeah.
Sebastian, our commissioner.
Oh, yeah. He
Oh,
probably that's money well
oh,
spent right there. That's
yeah.
money well spent.
Spent the big bucks on Justin Jefferson.
What did he finish for? Like a buck
Uh,
84, two
yeah, it was
touchdowns.
stupid. Yeah, 9 receptions, buck 84, and 2 touchdowns.
And of course, all over Twitter, you saw the Randy Moss picture of him looking at the camera, smiling on the bench, and then the Justin Jefferson one right next to it.
Yeah.
But yeah. This is, I mean, kind of like you said, it's just week one, but sort of what we expected.
Uh,
Packers won't be as good. Vikings are going to be sort of explosive.
Yeah, yeah. And Kirk Cousins looked pretty good, and yeah, nasty work. Division
Jalen,
rival.
yeah,
Good to see. Good to see the Rogers take
I
one.
love it. I love
Hopefully it
it.
continues. We'll see. I won't I won't hide my biases and whatnot on this podcast, by the way. Like we're
We're
gonna tell it
fans
how it is. I know
first.
Rogers is really good, but I personally don't like him.
Yeah, we're fans before anything.
Yeah.
Fans of the game. We're gonna root or like not root for whoever.
But
All right.
we can take it to my MVP pick.
Ooh,
Josh Allen and the Bills versus the Rams on opening night.
this
Sort of
was
going
such
out of
a
order here.
this foot game was so wacky.
It was so weird. I
Yeah.
literally have written down Stafford is a weirdo. He was a weirdo last year, but made big
Yeah.
plays when they needed it most.
That elbow, man. He's that shit might have finished him, bro. Because I'll be fair. I
He's
remember
taken a lot
last
of hits.
year.
He's taken a lot of hits over his
Yeah,
career.
last year when they started the season, I forgot who they played first. Who did the was it the Cowboys? Was it fucking Dallas again?
No, we
When the
played the
Rams opened
Bucks
the
played
season?
Dallas. The Bucks played Dallas
That's right. Whoever
and
the
won a
Rams
shootout.
opened,
By the way, Brady 7-0 versus Dallas. That would probably finish off his all-time
yeah,
record versus Dallas, which is pretty impressive.
in like 2 years or three. He's nuts. Um, but I forgot who like the Rams played to start off the season, but it was Stafford's, maybe it was Philly, but it was Stafford's first game. And like he had like that 50-yard bomb and he was looking great. He like looked great the next 3 weeks. And then the injury happened. And then after that, like he's been
Yeah, I had him on my
so,
fantasy
so
team.
sick. Yeah.
He's no
So
fun.
that's tough, man. Like this is like, is this the Jared Goff karma that the Rams are dealing with now?
Who do you mean?
Mc,
Like the Isaiah
Mc,
Thomas curse for the
is
Celtics?
the Jared Goff curse? McVay traded him. Apparently he was, I didn't even know that. He was drunk when he made the trade. I don't know if that's true or not.
McVay was drunk when he made the trade.
Yeah, I heard that that was in the ESPN one of those stories. But like he had some drinks and then he called up the owner or whoever and was like, "Let's fucking trade for Stafford." But I don't know, man. Maybe it's karma for the letting
I mean,
Goff
they
go
won the
like
Super
that.
Bowl. I'm sure they'll take it.
Yeah, that's
Stafford
true.
included.
Yeah, but I don't like. Man, he looks so bad. It's
Yeah,
gonna be a long year
we'll
for
see.
them.
We'll see. It might be. It might be. The
Cooper
NFC
Cup is
looks
like
the
the
NFC
only
looks weird.
receiver.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he just eyes down Cooper Cup. It's sort of like the Tyreek Hill thing. Not that Mahomes was doing that. Obviously, Mahomes is on a different planet than Matthew Stafford, but
yeah, for sure.
it's like when you have somebody that good, you just fall in love with them.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
But yeah,
but yeah,
Bills though. Bills look
Bills fans are
incredible.
probably listening. Like, can you
Seriously.
get to us?
Yeah.
And they lost because we're really fucking good, and the
It's the
Bills
New
look like
England
road
in us.
beaters. Like I
Yeah.
said, I have Josh Allen for MVP. He's the full fucking package.
That's looking like a
Um,
good pick
they look really
one
good on both
weekend.
sides of the ball. They have really good players on both sides of the ball. I don't have
Von
too much to.
Miller,
Von Miller is just is he's like the new Darrell Revis, where you just jump from team to team,
hired gun, yeah.
contender to contender.
He was wreaking havoc though. And then your twinno, Gabe Davis. He
Gabe
had some
Davis, my
moments.
twin.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we get mistaken a lot. People always come up. Are you Gabe Davis in public?
I could see the
But
resemblance.
yeah,
But
he
yeah,
picked up right where he left off too, right?
yeah, man. No, the Buffalo's gonna be good this year. They're probably gonna finish first or second seed. Second seed
For
at
sure,
worst.
for sure. Yeah. Again, it is week one, and take everything with a grain of salt. But they looked really good, and you know
Yeah.
what, Jay? As a Patriots fan,
I mean, we've had our fun.
nah,
Uh-oh.
fuck them. As a Patriots fan, I hate the news like sweet boy shit. Oh, Bills Mafia. Yeah, let's feel happy for the Bills. Blah blah blah.
Fuck them.
I didn't like the way they like lost in the division last year and went like 11-7 or 11-6 and just
They
think
did
they're gonna
finish
win the Super Bowl this
shaky.
year. And
Yeah.
think they're gonna win the Super Bowl this year because they didn't lose to the defending. They didn't lose to the eventual champions.
What if Simmons calls them the 20-0 Bills? That's so petty.
Right, right. He's trying to reverse jinx them immediately.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But
Uh,
they lost to the Chiefs, who lost to the Bengals, who lost to the Rams. So
yeah. I
there's
mean,
that.
it would be fun. It would have been more fun for me at least rooting against the Bills if the Pats were competitive.
I
But
feel you.
since they're such a joke, it's like whatever. I guess it's their division. Like, there's not much passion behind me rooting for them, as there would like it would
What
have
will
been
it
in
be?
other years.
What would it be like for the Bills if They get to the Super Bowl and Tom Brady's waiting for them there, and
Oh
Brady
my
beats them.
God,
Brady beats
yo,
them, and then they never go to the Super Bowl again.
they might like that might be the end of the franchise, bro. If that happens, like the Buffalo Bills just might not exist after that. Like the owner might sell the team. They're gonna
Wouldn't you think that would
draft all
happen
the
after
players.
losing 4 straight Super Bowls?
That's
Honestly, I'm being
that's
a
that's,
dickhead.
that's a tragic
I
franchise. That's what
I
I'm
wouldn't
like.
mind. I wouldn't.
Team
No,
keep it
no, no.
happy for
I'm
real.
being. I'm putting on a persona a little bit right here. Like I wouldn't mind seeing them win a Super Bowl. There's a lot of other teams I'd rather them. You know,
Yeah,
I'd rather them win a Super Bowl than a lot of other teams for
like
sure. For
The
sure.
Packers winning me a Super Bowl, I would vehemently root against that. But the
Yes.
Bills, it's like whatever.
Right. Yeah. The Bills are definitely like they might
I,
be top
I was
five.
watching randomly. I was watching the 30 for 30. It was like the first day I got the TV, so you just scrolling through the channels, and there was the Bills. Whatever their 30 for 30 is when they lost
The
Super
four falls
Bowls.
or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it was the last Super Bowl that was on that they were talking about, and it was how the kicker missed the field goal,
Yeah.
and
Scott
like,
Norwood.
yeah, one of the players was like, "I swear to God, it was because of the chopper that was in the air that night that the fucking other team sent. It blowed the wind like it blowed the air like just 1 inch to the left or some shit. Like just hearing them try to like rationalize how they lost,
Brutal.
that's so sad, bro.
Yeah.
So
It's
I'm like,
sad.
they can have this moment, I guess. But yeah, they look good though. They got their guy. That's like one thing we can stamp, even though it's early. Is like Josh Allen. He's that guy.
Is he him?
Yeah, he might be him. He might be him, bro. There's a couple hymns. He's one of them.
Yeah. He's definitely him when it comes to quarterbacking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's that guy for real. But yeah, who else did we have? It was
Another
man, it was
sad. Another
a lot of
sad.
games.
Another sad franchise. The Lions and the Eagles.
Oh man, the hard knock darlings.
Man Campbell.
Man, this was one
Manly.
of those games I didn't catch too much of. It was like the red zones every now and then highlights, but
Yeah.
like, of course, it would be a shootout and they would have a chance to win and then they'll lose.
That's how they lose every game ever.
Exactly.
It's like I learned nothing from this game. I learned
Yeah.
nothing from this game.
Yeah. I mean, Jalen Hurts, MVP buzz.
My cousin Dave picked him up in our fantasy league.
He's
He was
gonna
sitting
be.
pretty.
That's a good pickup. Yeah.
Sitting pretty. AJ Brown. I mean, here's what I'll say about the Eagles. They haven't really had a receiver in a while, like a legit receiver.
It's
And AJ
true.
Brown that's a guy.
Yeah,
And
maybe
and
since like
Miles
Alshon
and
Jeffrey.
Sanders is really good too. And yeah, I think it's gonna open up everything for them.
Yeah, I think they'll be a good team. I think Detroit. That's the thing though. They'll just be in all these close games to whoever and lose. I hope they do better though, just for
I do
Dan
too.
Campbell's sake.
Yeah, for sure. Who we liked before Hard
Yeah,
Knocks.
exactly. I
I
want
was
to see
telling the
that
guy
guy
at the gym
happy.
today. We were talking about the Sixers, how they are just going to be losers forever because the
Yeah.
way they got all their players was by tanking,
Hmm.
establishing a losing environment. And
Right.
Dan Campbell is establishing a winning
Complete
environment.
opposite. Yeah.
Even if you suck, like if you establish like winning tendencies and good behavior and whatnot, good practices, I think
It'll
down the
translate
line it
eventually.
will translate. And
For
I hope
sure,
it
bro.
does. I
Same.
hope he actually is like a good coach.
Yeah. What if he's just like he just
Yeah.
beats his players, tells the cameras of HBO to like turn off and starts getting crazy. Nah, that I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
Eagles, they'll be good.
Every Lions game ever. They just like hang around, they give you hope, and then they make them weird. Jared Goff just like does a handoff to the DB.
Yeah, right. He just puts it in their pocket and says, here's the game. Who do we have next?
The last game of note I have is the Monday night game, Broncos Seahawks, which is really
Oh,
fun to watch. All time quote.
this
They
fucking game.
I don't know if I this is the exact quote, but they wrote me off. I didn't write back though.
Oh,
Gino quote.
the Gino
I
quote. That
was
was
like
just
clapping. I was literally like
golden.
standing up in my room and clapping after that because he fucking outplayed Wilson, and
He
Wilson thought it
did.
was gonna be this beautiful homecoming, whatever. And did they
Yeah.
boo him?
Yes. Like it was
Which is
deafening.
weird. Which is weird.
You
Really
know
weird
what?
and pathetic from that fan base.
It is.
Uh
It
oh.
is.
Uh oh.
Yeah, I
You gonna
was gonna
zag on
pivot.
me?
I
You
was
gonna
gonna
zag
pivot
on me?
on you. A little Zach come in.
A little dream
But
shake.
I mean, like, and some people made this point because it was like it just like the season, right? The next season is done week one against, against Russell Wilson. I could see why the fans were just so much in the zone in that moment. Like, oh, this is so fresh. Fuck this guy. It would have been nice if there was a cheer sprinkled in there eventually. Like they should have done a tribute for him. They should have at least done that, like before halftime or something, or before the start of the third quarter, like a 30-second video. Like if he didn't get that, that's kind of slimy. But I could, I see why the fans were a little rowdy to start the game, and it was week
Tribute.
one. Like they were
No
just
tribute either.
the no
Guy
tribute.
won you a
That's
Super Bowl,
tough.
right?
Yeah, that's tough. They should have done something eventually. Like
But
he should have had a moment. But
if the
I like the
Broncos go
boost.
9-8 and the Seahawks go 12-5 with Geno Smith, are we
Oh
sure
my
Russell
god.
Wilson's good? Are we sure? Are we sure he's
That
him?
game had it all. That was one of those that had it all games.
Oh, it was a lot of fun to watch. You had money on it. I
I
had
had money,
crazy
fantasy.
fantasy implications on it.
Yeah.
Um,
It's a
Wilson's my
lot.
quarterback, and he definitely made me sweat that out.
He
The running
was
back Javante Williams looks really good. Of course, he
he's a
had that fumble
stud.
at the goal line, which was like just a comedy of errors by the whole team on that play.
Facts. Yeah.
Coach Hackett looked
Oh,
discombobulated all
so do
night.
we just want to talk about how they ended that game? Can we just
Well,
can we just
real
kill
quick,
Hackett real
real
quick?
quick.
Okay.
Flowers to Gino. Flowers to
Yes,
Pete
you're right.
Carroll.
Yeah,
Pete
yeah.
Carroll's
Hell of a
71
performance.
years old, about to be 71, and he's like
Yeah.
running up and down the sideline, like
Yeah. He's
looking
he's one
like
of
a
them.
25-year-old.
I love his
Um,
energy.
they played with great energy, and they got to Wilson a lot.
The 12th man was felt.
Before we get to the end of the game, I've already mentioned it, but yeah, Wilson driving me crazy. He
Ugh.
he bails on the pocket immediately every time,
He didn't
and it
even throw
gives,
to a wide receiver until the second quarter.
and
But go
that
ahead.
has to do with him leaving the pocket.
Yeah.
Because at that point, 90% of the time, all you're going to have is a dump off to the running back, which worked for me because I have
Yeah, I was
Javante
gonna
Williams
say, yeah.
in fantasy. It definitely worked to my advantage.
Yeah.
But
As far as like
you're
trying to
not
win the
gonna
game.
you can't establish a really good drive if you're constantly just bailing on the pocket.
Yeah, he
And
does
I
that a
know he's only
lot.
like 5'11", and it's probably much harder for him to stay in the pocket than a Josh Allen, a Tom
Right.
Brady, Big Ben back in the day, Peyton, whatever. He's not that type of quarterback. I get it,
Mhm.
but it's very like, I don't know. It's like the football version of hero ball almost. Like, oh, I'm gonna
Ooh,
make
I
something
like that.
happen. It's like,
Yeah.
no, it's not. You don't have to make something happen. We've drawn something up for something to happen. You don't have to make something happen just yet. It's
And
not a
it's kind
broken
of
play.
weird. It's
It ain't
kind of
broke,
weird
don't
that
fix it.
in this stage of his career, he's playing the hero ball. Because like Mahomes and Allen, we saw that first couple of seasons for them, the hero ball. But like now you start, well, Mahomes, we mentioned it, how he's without Tyreek, he's more cerebric in his
Right.
approach. And even in Allen, like most of the mistakes that happened in that Thursday night game were not his fault. Like, he only had
Yeah.
one rough throw, but Wilson is like, you would think, I guess he's considered at the prime of his career, or maybe a little bit past it, but to still
Right.
be doing this like bailing on the pocket, and then well, not to mention all the weirdness off the field. But
Did you like his suit?
I didn't even know. Like I seen that today. I was like, wait, he had a tuxedo on, and then I seen that was ridiculous. Uh, it was kind of awkward too after the game, and then I guess were like all over the place. But after the game, like not a lot of
So was
people
that
like
game.
Pete Carroll. You seen it was kind of like a half hug. I don't know if you've seen their exchange, but it
Well, it's
wasn't one of
not. Yeah.
those. It's
I
like I feel like Pete Carroll's not Belichick. Like if he liked you, I feel as if he would have gave you a
right.
warm hug. Belichick
And
is doing that to his
yes.
son.
Right. And it wasn't the like I'm like, oh, that they gave Brady a tribute and Patriots fans cheered Brady when he comes back. But yeah, in your defense, like Wilson, he was there a long time. He won them a Super Bowl, but it was on the back of a all-time defense.
Legion of Boom.
Yeah, so it wasn't like it was all him. They won one. They go back. Of course, he throws the pick to Malcolm Butler.
Right.
They don't go back after that, and just
That moment broke
a
them.
couple
That pick
losing
just
seasons.
yeah.
Couple
That
losing seasons,
interception.
First
That
round exits, losing seasons.
yeah.
They're not the Patriots dynasty, so I guess I can understand. It's just this guy who was like, "Fuck it, I need better. I need
Mhm.
more from my brand. I need more on the field." And Pete Carroll was probably like, "Fuck that. Let me take Geno Smith and beat you."
Yeah. I think that interception broke that franchise, bro.
Yeah. But
That was
in the Broncos' defense, or just to say, like week one, let's not get too crazy. They were in the red zone twice. They're inside the 10-yard line twice, I think.
They honestly
And
should
came
have won
around,
that game by
came
at
away with
least
0
10.
points.
Yeah, that's honestly that's the real takeaway from here is
Yeah.
like how much opportunities Denver had. And then I guess now that can bring us to the end of the game.
Yeah.
So it was a minute left, Gabe. A minute left. It was another dump off to Javonte, fantasy galore. And then it's like whatever, 4th and 5, a minute left. They let the clock run. I was watching this whole game on the main telecast with
But you saw the Manning
Troy and
cast
Joe.
on Twitter.
But I saw the
That was
Manning cast
hilarious.
reaction, and that was literally
Let's call
like that was
timeout.
me. Yeah.
Let's call a timeout now. All right, let's think this over.
Shannon Sharp's like, what do you mean they're gonna kick
You're
it? Kick
gonna
it.
try to draw him off size.
Ian's like, Eli, what's going on? Like, it's just a mess, bro. And then I'm watching like, and mind you, at this point, I need the Cortland Sutton over. He has 4 receptions. I need over 4.5. I got the Judy touchdown. A Russell Wilson touchdown would be great. So I got that going on. I need like 2 points from Judy to win. And then it's like, Denver, don't you want to win? And then, of course, the coach just lets it go all the way to 20 seconds, that fucking nerd. And then they attempt a 64-yarder, which, of course, and McManus, he's got a boot, but
not that big of a boot. Yeah. Almost nobody does.
And that's what I'm like.
And when they let it go down, I was like,
fire him.
I was like, okay, they're gonna kick a field goal. I assumed it was gonna be like a 57-yarder. That's 64 yards.
That's so stupid, bro. And they had a minute left with 3 timeouts.
Yes.
It's like, what do you got? Even if you wanted to take the field goal, at least get a little bit more yards. Like if it was 4th and I get because it was 4th and 5, but I don't know. Wilson, he was hitting guys. Like
he could have called the timeout himself,
but they were moving the ball. Yeah, he should have. But that was just so weird.
Which people made that point too. Like it's like, oh, you bought a $300 million car and you walk to work.
Yeah,
like you paid all this money for Wilson and you're gonna have your kicker kick a 64-yarder on the road?
On the road, bro. With the fans probably screaming so loud the ball's vibrating in midair when it's being kicked. Like, man, Nathaniel Hackett, that's week 1, he has to go. That's my I'm already there, bro. I'm already there.
You've seen enough?
Yeah, that's like I don't need
year?
to see. I don't need to see. Yeah, it's his first year.
Fanny Pack Fangio last year. Was that who was at the helm?
I think so. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
I mean, they got guys. They do have
have
talent on Denver. They do have talent.
Even on defense, the Bradley Chubb guy had a bunch of sacks. Like they have guys, bro. But
and
this
again,
might be one of those.
Yeah, they could have won that game by much more.
Yeah.
Just don't try to get too fucking cute. You know, that's some of these coaches. It's that more often than not leads you to because Russillo has that point like, oh, you talk about all these people, all these analysts, they say coaches suck. Oh, that was a terrible decision. Well, what would you do?
Yeah.
And it's like this is a thing that was so egregious that my average football mind can tell you what the fuck I would do. I would have called a timeout. You could have got 2 more 10-yard completions and then win the game.
Right.
You had a bunch of time left in timeouts.
Yeah, like when we criticize these moments as fans, it's not we're saying, oh, this like obviously he's probably did like 300 or 400 things in that game that we'll never understand. But in that moment where everyone watching, where it's so blatant, it's like, nah, bro, you're an idiot for that. Like there's nothing more I have to see. But yeah, Gabe,
fun Monday night game. Oftentimes. And Joe Buck and Troy Aikman were really good.
Yeah, they were great.
Monday night games, I feel like the first game is usually really good, and then the rest are terrible.
Yeah. So well, next week there's 2.
Yeah,
which is kind of crazy. And I mean,
I hope they're better because Buck and Aikman, their voices can't go to waste on shitty games.
Yeah, I feel that.
It's just weird.
Tennessee at Buffalo, which is at 6:15.
I think that could be a blowout. That might be.
It might be, yeah.
So is that the game where is it close? Do we see some weak points in Buffalo? Or is that the game where Buffalo wins? Buffalo wins 49 to 10. And it's like, oh shit.
I hate that I have fantasy guys in this game. Like I hate the Monday night shit.
But I like the Monday night game. It makes me comfortable on Sunday. Like I still got something in the.
I like when both me and the other guy are done on Sunday night.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you can watch everything else in the league unfold on Monday night.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Like I hate going through having to wake up and go through more torture. like
Yes.
after work on top of that. But
Remember when we tied? I'm sure we brought that up on this podcast before.
yeah,
That was way back. I
Jesus,
mean, we were in high school, but
that
yeah.
was a
I think
baby
this,
fantasy
what was
league,
it, 115, 115 or something?
some shit like that.
And we
Yeah,
were like,
it
what
was in the
happens
hundred
now?
somethings.
What happens
Yeah,
now?
and
Who is the
I think
better record?
we both made the playoffs. I think still,
Yeah, I was
if
probably one
memory
and done
serves me
that year.
right.
That was probably a ring for you that year.
It might have been. Those were my glory days. Oh man, do we
That,
talk about that league? How? I
yeah.
guess that's in
Well,
the
we might,
past.
we'll have the commissioner of that league on
Yeah,
later this week to talk um Triple G
so disappointing
and
how that
Canelo 3 is
unfolded.
happening. And Barry Sharari from the Hurt Business podcast will be on to talk about that. And then we'll also probably, quick plug, we'll also be doing a hoop chat. So we'll either, Jay, what do you think? Live, little fourth wall break for everybody.
Some
Little peek
brainstorming
behind,
live.
little peek behind the curtain. Should we do the Hurt Business? Should we do the boxing and the Robert Sarver Phoenix Suns owner? Obviously, is a mess.
Yeah,
Should we do that
yeah.
all together? Do a bonus episode of the Richie Mecco connection,
That could be a
or
good bonus.
do
Or
we
split them
put
for
them
the
on the
hoop
hoop
chat.
chat? Do we put it on the hoop chat,
Mm.
or do we? Or you know what else we could do? This might be a little more work, but not really. Uh, we simulcast. So we'll have Ferris in the Sarver talk on a bonus episode of the Richie Mecco connection, and then we'll have the Sarver talk on a hoop chat. So if anybody just wants to hear that, they can go hear that.
Yeah, see, I'm not opposed to any of those ideas.
All right. Sounds good.
Well, yeah,
We'll
yeah,
figure it out.
we'll figure it out.
You
But
guys will see it.
but damn, I think you had asked me like, oh, if this is a Bills blowout, is it like here we go?
Yes.
But it's Tennessee. If it was like Minnesota, who they played Philly that night as well, that's the double header we got. Like if
That's
it
a
was
good
like a
game. That's a good game.
Minnesota, that is a good game. Or if it was like Tampa, if they be like a good team, then I'm like,
Fair.
okay.
Fair.
But Tennessee, then they lost to the Giants.
There's
which,
teams that just beat up on bad teams.
yeah.
We don't know about Tennessee yet. Tennessee lost to a weirdo last year too. They lost to the Jets, right?
Yeah.
Similar
Zach
fashion
Wilson,
too.
Zach
Similar
Wilson
fashion.
masterclass. I'm a little bit worried about Tennessee because for the first time, I think in my years of watching him, like, did you see the hit on Derrick Henry where he went flying?
I didn't. I honestly only saw a little bit of that game, and it was Saquon just fucking balling out.
Yeah,
Henry
all I
got
saw was
clap. I knew. I didn't put any money down for Henry this year in fantasy.
yeah, I was staying away from that guy. I mean, I made mistakes elsewhere probably, but I'm gonna send it to you right now. But that's
Yeah,
what
take a
that's
look
like the
at
first
this.
time I've ever seen Henry get moved like that, and that might have just been a Nathaniel Hackett week one overreaction, Tennessee overreaction off seeing that alone. That was scary, bro. And if it's like if he's not gonna be good this year, he didn't have great stats either. Like if he's not good, we know AJ Brown is gone. I think it's still sending. I should have
I
delivered.
see it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Tennessee's gonna be bad.
You think they're gonna be bad? All right, here we go. Ooh! He got
Isn't that
blown
kind of
up.
crazy, bro? Like
That
King
dude must have
Henry,
felt like God after he did that to Derrick Henry.
Tay Crowder. I'm sure Matthew Samuels was loving every bit of that.
Tay Crowder. Oh,
I just saw his name in the
someone
replies.
tweeted Tay Crowder, and it's the Shaq. My favorite meme is the Shaq meme. I owe you an apology. I wasn't really familiar with
I
your
love
game.
that. Oh man, but yeah,
That's great.
It was a fun
Football's
week one.
back. Yeah,
for
but yeah,
sure.
Saquon balled out. I have a few more quick things. We no more
Yeah.
games, but Saquon balled
Rapid
out.
fire.
Trevor Lawrence kind of mid. Is he mid?
Jags in the red zone 3 times, and it was all just three.
That game was
ridiculous.
nuts.
Yeah,
that game was a
was
mess.
Wentz was throwing darts. The Saints, I caught a little bit of them. Jameis is just a nightmare for 3.5 quarters. That's gonna be every week with them, probably.
All right, Jay.
Yeah.
Jameis or Dak?
Oh yes. Okay.
Because
This is
Jameis
actually
gets made
tough,
fun of
bro.
so much, but I'm like, are you
It's
getting that much farther? Someone made a good point though. A friend of
Might be
mine
like
at
a
the gym made a really
toss-up.
good point. Like, look at Jameis. The 30-30 season's kind of jarring.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah,
30 interceptions is nasty.
Yeah, it's really bad.
I'm not gonna lie. But like Dak is gonna give you like he may not have an interception, but he'll be like 12 for 30 with like 186 yards. And it's like, I guess maybe I'll take the Jameis fireworks if you don't know what you're getting
Right.
over like the expected mid from Dak. Honestly, it's a toss up, bro. Like if I was starting a team and I had to choose between those two guys, I would have to think long and hard about it.
Right.
Ah,
I feel like
maybe
this is a debate that will look silly in like a year or something.
maybe still Dak, but I think it's close. I
We'll
think
see.
it's close.
We'll see.
But yeah, the
Speaking of the
Saints,
Saints,
they're
I
weird.
have written down Falcons fans. They're
Oh,
God's toughest soldiers.
yeah.
You know, God gives his hardest battles to his toughest soldiers, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's got to be talking about Falcons fans
Yeah.
with another blown lead.
Falcons fans are the Israelites on their way out of Egypt. And like they're just getting hammered left.
They're Diavolo at the end of part 5 of JoJo, just dying over and over.
Yeah. Oh,
just the endless
God.
cycle of pain.
Oh yeah, Gene. Oh man, I'm sorry,
Oh,
brother.
poor Gene.
Yeah.
Ravens handled business.
Yeah.
Nothing really to see there. Just a
I
boring
didn't
win,
see.
basically.
Yeah.
Colts and Texans in the Goofy Bowl.
That unfortunately was on my TV.
Your boy, your hometown
Davis
team.
Mills was doing some dots in the first
Davis
half.
Mills, him?
I don't know because they were up 23, and then next thing you know, it's about to be a tie in overtime. I guess we have to also mention that the
That
wackiest
division?
game. Well, that division is just a joke. We know that, but
Nobody's
the
won a
wackiest game
game?
of Sunday probably Pittsburgh and Cincy.
We're good. Yeah, I was gonna get to them.
Okay, yeah, because that game, I mean, what the fuck was that?
Yeah. So yeah, just Colts and Texans, that whole division, the AFC South, there.
Yeah, they're
Both those
nuts.
teams that were participating in that game lead the division. They're 0-1.
Yeah,
And then
there's
the
not-
two other teams in division lost. So
Jesus.
even though
No
two
one
of the
has a
team,
win.
yeah, two teams played each other in that division, nobody has won yet.
That
That
has to be
division
a first.
doesn't exist. It actually doesn't exist.
After Andrew Luck retired, it just stopped existing.
AFC South is an episode of Eric Andre show. Yeah, Burrow.
Jesus.
So 5
what
turnovers.
was this?
Here's another jab at Wilson real quick. It's gonna be a love-hate relationship with me and him this year because he's on my fantasy team.
Yeah, it's tough.
I also have Burrow on my fantasy team, who was on the bench. He had more
Oh.
fantasy points. He had 18 fantasy points, which was more than Wilson,
That's
but
crazy.
18 points with 5 turnovers, 4 picks, and a fumble.
Jesus, what did he finish with? Was it one of those like 400-yard passing yard games?
Yeah, it must have been. I mean, him and Chase. Chase lost his mind. Chase is a fucking
Chase is
god.
out of control. Yeah,
Yeah, he's top 3. Wait,
it's like
Chase,
yeah,
Chase,
my
Devontae,
favorite-
and
This is like my
Jefferson?
favorite side game every year. Yeah. So you said Chase, Devontae, and then Jefferson, and then
Yeah,
Cup. It's those
in
4.
Cup, right? Yeah.
Yeah, those 4 guys. Like, I'll take your pick.
But like deep threats, what about Diggs?
Diggs is that's my Diggsy boy.
Mm.
He might be outside the door on that one. He's knocking on the door, but those
What
guys are
about
different.
Devontae Parker?
And he's
What about
that's Randy Moss 2.0 right there in New England.
What
When
about
Moss came
Nelson
to New
Aguilar?
England, and Aguilar is probably Welker, and then
Yeah,
Hunter Henry's Gronk.
Welker, who
They'll figure it out.
Welker, who's on the Dolphins coaching staff. I noticed him on the side.
Welker,
yeah, sitting with Terry.
yeah. That's kinda
Oh, Jay, we never talked about
crazy to
that.
watch.
Welker
About
like
what?
suing the NFL or whatever the fuck.
I literally was just about to bring that up, and I thought about it. I'm like, are we
Do we-
violating any laws?
Right,
But
HIPAA, right? HIPAA.
yeah, but
Well,
I mean, he tweeted it.
We can do it. It's pretty late in the podcast. Should we?
I mean,
are we
on the
doing?
odd ch-
Are we making noises again?
And now I'm Jerry Howard.
Jeremiah, get out of the planning setting. Get into my basement. Fucking stupid.
I forgot
No
what
one
I was
knows
gonna
what the hell's
say.
going on.
What
We were
was I
talking about
gonna
Welker, like
say?
suing the NFL, and you.
Oh yeah, Welker.
you
So
may-
like,
You have
yeah,
a
yeah.
kind of a personal connection to this.
Let's just say the provider who may or may not be looking at Welker's shoulder. I may have had a meeting with him a few weeks ago in the hospital I work at.
Wow.
Maybe not. I mean, his name was the same
Allegedly.
name I saw.
Allegedly.
Right, allegedly. But that was kind of crazy though. I guess the whole situation was the NFL wasn't the benefits department or whatever wasn't trying to give him no benefits because they deemed his
His
surgeries weren't related to football. And I remember I seen the tweet and immediately under
yes,
that
it's
was
him
just
getting his head taken off.
yeah, it's like 10 plays of him getting murdered when he was on the
Really
pass.
like really hard to watch stuff that you can't watch
Yeah,
multiple times. Like the guy, it's
yeah,
just
it's bad. He
it's
took some
torture. It's human
shots.
torture. What
But
he went through during his NFL career for sure.
yeah,
So
so that's actually
yeah,
low-key
it's
kind of
we're
sad.
laughing and shit, but that's
Yeah,
honestly a really ugly
yeah.
situation that NFL has so many ugly situations going on right now that that's kind of taking a
Hmm.
back seat, I think, but it may come to
Right.
light sooner rather than later. But
Yeah,
there's,
I
I
hope
mean,
so.
Welker's also an NFL employee right now, so I don't know how
Might
that
be
works.
dicey
Yeah.
legally. But
Yeah,
yeah,
weird kicking day
weird
across the
day.
board, but especially in that Cincy Pittsburgh game. I hate seeing Pittsburgh win, but hella respect for Mike Tomlin. Always finding a way
Yeah,
with his guys. Sucks TJ Watt got hurt.
I
Gonna be out
know. They
the
say
year.
no. So
Not
they
out the
thought
year.
that October he might return. Now he got like a third
Ah,
opinion or something.
yeah.
Um,
Trubisky.
yeah, Trubisky. Yeah, that was kind of like he was making throws. He had that one throw, but that was the craziest catch, the one Deontay Johnson made to set
Of
up the
course, they have
game-winning
another
field
great
goal.
receiver.
Yeah, wide receiver, we know about them. But yeah, Mitchell Trubisky, man, it was moving him. He was doing
Good
his
for
thing. He
Pittsburgh.
outplayed Burrow, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah. I mean,
Burrow,
yeah. If you
bro,
throw 4 picks, you
Burrow
can't
has
outplay
weird
anybody.
moments.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's weird, man.
I
Joe
remember the
Cool.
Packers game last year where he was just throwing nightmare interceptions,
Yes.
but then he'll come back and be flawless.
Yes. That was crazy. But yeah, that game was crazy. My cousin, who I was watching football with, my cousin Dave thought it was the greatest game he's ever seen outside of the Patriots Super Bowls.
Yeah,
And
well,
I was like, come on, man.
great. Yeah, great is not the right way to describe it.
Right. It was
Yeah, it was. It's probably up there for the wackiest. I feel like there's probably been
goofy. It was
wackier.
very goofy. Yeah. It was just very goofy.
Yeah,
It was just kickers missing kicks, basically.
yeah, which is kind of like I think Big Cat made this point, but or yeah, I think it was, but like just how it's great to have kickers who suck in the league. That
Yes,
just
yes.
adds
If
to the
kickers just always
spice.
made their kicks, it would be boring.
It would be so boring.
That's a
But
great point. That was a
it
great.
really was. Yeah, I thought of. I was like, yeah, that's so true. Like how much games you're
And this
just
was after he threw Kyle under the bus.
yeah, yeah, bro.
Weirdo. Shit.
Did you hear? So you didn't
We
hear
should do a
that?
podcast corner sometimes, like just talk about like shit
That's
that
a good
happens on the
idea
podcast we listen to.
because we kind of already do it anyways.
Yeah.
Like we might as well just call it something. That was so weird though. Like he basically called out Kyle, who produces for the Ringer. For those who might not know, but of course, me and Gabe
Nephew
are talking
Kyle.
another language. Yeah, nephew
Or he
Kyle. Like he
doesn't like when
called him
people call
out.
him that, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's in his Twitter bio. Like, don't call me nephew.
Yeah.
But Big Cat just called out Kyle trying to ask Big Cat for advice on how to hang out with Rosillo, and then
It's so weird.
Rosillo's just like, oh man, I didn't know you felt like this. It's like Rosillo, you know you are a fucking hermit crab and you don't like, come on. Like Rosillo, you know you're a sicko when it comes to that. But Big Cat bringing that up, that was crazy. Like, why would you do that? Put the two guys on the spot. He's like, yeah, this never happens at our podcast.
Yeah, it's shut up. They always do. Like I said, like they're very fucking funny. Really good football knowledge on that show, honestly.
For
But
real.
literally, we'll do anything for content.
I think this is my
Barstool
first
Sports will
football
do anything
season.
for content.
Yeah.
They'll what's his face? There'll be Twitter. I'll see Twitter videos of Portnoy just like shitting on some intern for whatever. Like, are you serious? Or like just making the intern look stupid.
Oh, bro,
Like
that's
it'll be
actually
kind of
weird.
funny, but it's like,
Is it like a skit
yeah.
or I guess it is,
No, it
right?
won't be a skit, but it will be.
Oh,
Yeah, it's that's what I'm saying.
yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, they'll do anything for content over there. And sometimes it's just talk about sports. But yeah, that's it for the NFL. Really, do you want to get into detail on your betting
I mean,
weekend?
it was a rough weekend, Gabe. It was a like
I mean, I
literally
I
from
won't lie.
Saturday.
I bet this weekend too. You know that
Yeah,
I don't do it too
Saturday.
often.
I should have known when Texas was about to beat Alabama to maybe take it easy on the betting on Sunday because I had the Alabama minus 20. Man, it was actually a very funny gambling experience this weekend. So I'll make this quick, but went to get a haircut on Saturday. I'm in the barber shop. And again, like we talked about this last week, college football is just as big as the NFL down here. So like all the TVs have like one game has Bama and Texas, another one has Arkansas versus I think South Carolina. There's guys walking in talking about like this the quote cash in hand, pay the man was said several times. One guy was getting basically bullied because he owed several people money and he was like, oh, I'll make it back with Dallas. I'm sure that didn't work out well for him.
My God.
Yeah. But yeah, I like basically long story short, I bet on a bunch of college games. I had to watch Alabama as I was getting a shape of I had to watch Alabama just shit their pants. And then Sunday I had Jacksonville lost. I had them in a parlay. Who else? It was a bad. Well, the Denver one was the
Did you
worst one,
did you
probably.
bet the Pats?
No, I
You
stayed away.
stayed away.
I stayed away. Uh
The Lions?
the Saints couldn't cover against Atlanta. I had that.
Right.
49ers lost because I
We
didn't
did. That's like
realize it
the
was gonna
one
be a
game we didn't really
hurricane.
mention at all. Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
That's a game you literally know nothing about either
yeah,
team.
yeah.
It's just
That's
a monsoon.
literally one of
It's like the
those
Patriots versus the Ravens that game a couple of years ago.
facts. Yeah, that game, no takeaways. But yeah, bro, got like nothing was hitting. And then the Denver one was the kiss of death when Wilson couldn't get over 1.5 TDs and then Sutton couldn't get one more reception.
It's a kiss
Ah,
of death. The back to back. I knew that game was cursed when back to back trips inside the end zone, and you
ended up
or
in
inside the red zone.
turnovers.
You don't come away with anything. Not even a field
Yeah,
goal.
right. Yeah, it was a rough game, but we're bouncing back. I'm already thinking of a player prop to make for Thursday night's game.
Yeah.
Maybe a little Juju over a touchdown, some
Oh,
Kelsey yards. I don't know. We'll see.
Juju. I can see you doing that and just cursing out Juju through text
Yeah,
throughout the
just
night.
calling him a TikTok baby. Just I was gonna say something worse, but yeah, uh, yeah, we'll be back though. We'll be
It's a
back.
good thing you didn't bet that BYU game.
Yeah, well, if I bet it, I was watching until Scott Van Pelt talked about it at the end. If there
Yeah,
was money on
at
that
4
game,
a.m.
yeah,
That
but
game was on late. Oh my God.
yeah, that was at least 1 a.m. over here. That
It
was
was
2
it
a.m.
was
in the
like 2:30 a.m. when that game ended over here.
because it's fucking West Coast. That's probably why they're like it's midnight
Where's
over
BYU?
there.
Utah?
I think so. BYU, Jimmer Fredette.
Oh,
That's it for me. But yeah, Gabe,
that was
it's gonna be a
good.
fun week too. I'm excited. I'm
Right.
excited.
Yeah, yeah. More football. Football, like I said, this is I just look forward every Sunday we get to do this. We just
I
get to watch
know.
it every Sunday. Such
Yeah,
a good
it's like
time.
I love it.
I love that coma I go into around like 4, like at the
Yeah.
after the witching hour, and then like
Yes.
first half of the second games, I'm just like half asleep,
Yep.
sometimes totally asleep. Wake up and
That's
it's
so true.
wake up to my whole like it's 28, whatever.
Yeah,
Football, it's just fantastic.
it is.
Like I said, we should be back later in the week with Ferris in some capacity, talking about that Triple G Canelo fight, which me and many others I know have been waiting a long time for. Uh, and yeah, the Sarver situation. Jay, your boy, Robert Sarver.
Yeah, it's not looking too good for him. Yeah, there's just so much, and that tweet alone that the NBA
Saying the N
press
word like 5 times.
account,
Chris
yeah, and it's
Paul
like
follows him everywhere he goes, huh?
I know he's got a type of owner he likes, I guess. But yeah, I mean, he's doing like a training. Like we'll talk about it, but
It's
there's
crazy.
just so
We'll
much to
definitely get into
unravel.
it. Let's leave we'll leave all the meat on
Yeah,
the bone for that one.
yeah,
But I
for
definitely have
sure.
some thoughts on him and just like owners in general
Yeah,
or
and the
whatever the fuck they're called in the NBA. What are they called?
governors, I think
Governors.
they're
Yeah.
governors now. But yeah,
Yeah,
Gabe,
man. That was good. That
that
was good.
was
Guys, check out Connection Media. Follow us on TikTok. Follow us on Instagram. And if you feel like coming on the show, if you have any podcast ideas yourself, feel free to reach out to Jay or I. We're very
yeah,
receptive. We're looking for people who are passionate about this shit. And
for sure.
doesn't matter what the topic is.
Yeah,
If we think it's legitimate and not very problematic,
yeah.
we'll let it fly. Um, but yeah, that was great, Jay. Thank you, and I'll see you. I'll see you for week 2.
See you, Gabe.